Hi, it's Andy, and this coming Wednesday, we are going to begin something different. Now, we're going to start for 1 week, and then we're going to take a break because our third quarter business meeting is right around the corner. But beginning on Wednesday, September the 2nd, and then continuing September the 16th forward, our Wednesday nights are going to move away from the Q&A that we have begun back during the time of COVID, when COVID really kind of began. And we are going to have a new focus that we have called Redeem the Time. Now, redeem the time is how one translation takes Ephesians 5:16, and while this particular study is not going to be a Bible study, it will be based upon biblical principles. We will look a lot, most likely, over time at various spiritual disciplines and how they can be applied to our day-to-day settings today. But I'm going to be bringing a lot of practical information. In those three verses, Ephesians 5:15, 16, and 17, which will be the first Redeem the Time setting on September the 2nd. I'll talk about that. And that will be live. We will do this as a YouTube live, and then we'll follow up with some Q&A and those kinds of things from there. But in those three verses, it talks about our walk, which is a very common term for Ephesians chapter 4 and 5 that Paul uses quite frequently, considering the brevity of how few verses that all of these show up in. But he talks about our walk, so there's a physical aspect to redeeming the time, and he talks about our understanding, that there is a mental aspect to this as well. So what are the things that keep us from following Jesus? What are some things that keep us from doing the things that we know we should be doing, that we want to be doing, etc.? We're going to be looking at those. I'm going to be stepping on a lot of toes, I'm sure, myself included. But again, just trying to be practical, trying to help us all to better understand what the Bible says about following Jesus, better understand the disciplines that can help us to do that. And one of the reasons that I think this particular series will be helpful at this time is that on my sermon on August the 9th, I mentioned I was going to be asking two questions. Both of those questions related to things that we all know that we should be doing for God, that God has asked us something to do, or asked us to do something, and we're not doing those like we should. Well, the first question is what are you to be doing for God? And the second is how can I help? Well, this is one of the ways that I can help in a corporate way, helping everybody by giving this opportunity to see this overall. I will still follow that up individually. And in fact, many of you have already begun to tell me as I've been texting you over beginning last week, about a third, and this week, the other 2/3 of people that were there that day. With those two questions, what are you seeking to do for God, and how can I help? Many of you are already giving me responses as to what you know you should be doing for God. So I will continue to follow up with those personally and try to help individually, one-on-one. But again, this is an opportunity for me to help or actually help all of us collectively to redeem the time, to make the best use of time, as some translations also say, as Paul has written in Ephesians chapter 5, 16, and 17. We get distracted. We want more time. We need more time. Well, we're not going to get more time, but the time that we have, we can use for more advantageous results. So let's think about that. And again, that will start September the 2nd this week on YouTube. We'll do that live, and then we'll take a break on the 9th and come back on the 16th going forward.